everybody, this vlog is going to be about 7 things you should know before you join the military. Now, this will be part 1 of a 2-part series, and the insight that I will provide will come not only from myself, but from other officers as well. So, let's talk. Now, first things first, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and press the bell so that you're notified when I have new uploads. The first thing you need to know is that you are in charge of your career. The amount of success that you will obtain will depend on how much effort you put into actually achieving that. So whether you're on the enlisted side of the house or the officer side of the house, make sure you put yourself in position for career progression. This means talking with your supervisor, your boss, maybe your sergeant major or company commander, and seeing what schools are available. Talk with the NCO or officer who is in charge of tracking schools on the installation, as well as doing your own research. Maybe there's additional schools that you can do TDY where you can set yourself up for success. There's normally prerequisites that you must obtain in order to go to those schools, so make sure that you're taking initiative of those opportunities. For military education, the Army gives us funding for us to go to school, as well as for civilian education. Put ourselves in position to excel and understand when it's time to go to a new position, you can use your networks as well to get to another unit, to fulfill a new slot where you can, say for instance, you are a specialist, but you're preparing to take over as a squad leader. Go ahead and put yourself in position. Have a talk with the platoon sergeant so that he knows what your goal is. If you are a lieutenant and you're looking into gaining a platoon, or you want to become an executive officer, go ahead and start networking. Reach out to counterpart peers who already are holding those positions. Understand when they're leaving those slots, and just have that dialogue so people know what your intent is. Be in charge of your career. Be proactive. It's also important for your success, because at the end of the day, everybody is navigating their own careers. And although we have an obligation as officers to mentor, or senior NCO, non-commissioned officers, to mentor and younger soldiers, younger leaders, sometimes we get caught up in our own thing, so you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your success. Now, the second tip is joining the Army is a lifestyle, not a job. So the times where you decide, you know what, it's really, really too cold to get up for PT, I'm just going to lay in bed and I'm going to skip Wednesday. That's not an option. It's not a regular 9 to 5 where you can just make those decisions on the fly, or you can call out. It's a lifestyle. Whatever happens in your civilian life, say that you are, going through a domestic violence situation. Maybe you have had a DUI. Maybe you have, or you think that you may want to use drugs and so forth. Bad idea. Those things spill over into your military career. Your unit gets notified. Your organization gets notified as a whole. And you may face consequences on both sides of the house, both civilian and in your military sector. So understand that when you decide, or if you decide to join the military, it's a full-out lifestyle. You have to maintain your physical fitness. You have to pay attention to your career. You are treated as an adult, but at the end of the day, you're still the property of the Army. The best property, the best type of property. And it's not a nice way to think about it, but you are a property. You are the property of the Army. You belong to the Army. You sign a contract, and until your contract is up, or you're separated from the Army for whatever reason it may be, you have an obligation that you must fulfill. Tip number 3 is the Army is small. Understand that the Army is small. So think about this when you are building relationships with individuals. You want to be cognizant of your actions and the things that you do, because it can come back to you full circle after you have PCS, gone to another unit, and then here it is like, I remember her, or I heard about her, because it's so natural that the things that you do in another unit precedes you before you even come, or before you even in process to your unit. Think about that. It's because people want to know who you are. Oh, I have this captain coming in. Captain Mac, I hear she's coming in. I wonder who she is, what she's about. Is she lazy? You know, is she on her A game? We want to know, and it's very natural for those things to occur. I'm going to give an example. So I just arrived here at Fort Gordon, and I just came from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, where I was in Captain Career Course. Now, the battalion commander in Fort Huachuca was the director of the position that I was supposed to obtain here in Fort Gordon. So he had already told me, hey, I passed your name down to the unit. They're tracking that you're on your way. And just imagine if my reputation was in a negative light. What that type of conversation would have been like, had he would have gone ahead and shot that email down, hey, I know you got Captain Mag coming, better watch out for her because blah, 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 But thankfully, I understand that the Army is very, very small. So those connections, those relationships that you build will be so imperative. I have another example for you. Here I am. I'm now part of the military intelligence branch, and I used to be part of the chemical branch. So in Hawaii, I was a part of an infantry unit. I met those same people who I interacted with down in Hawaii at Fort Huachuca in Arizona. They transitioned from their infantry branch into military intelligence. And here I am thinking, oh, it's going to be a new experience. I'm going to see total, different people, new people I've never seen before. That is so not true. Understand that those people that you meet in one place, you will see them again in another place. Just stay in the military long enough. Now, tip number 3 is going to go right into tip number 4. And tip number 4 is success is not obtained by your competence alone. Understand that the relationships you built will be so imperative to your success. Now, I speak more about networking and the importance of building those relationships in a previous video that I have attached in the card above. So take a look at that so that you can understand fully the power of networking, the power of building those relationships, because you're going to need that in your future. Now, tip number 5 is speak up. It's okay to speak up. If you don't know what the expectations is or what the expectations are of your boss, speak up. Ask those questions. Hey, sir, I didn't fully understand what you asked of me. Can I get a little bit more guidance? Because if you don't, things backfire. Missions are not met. You miss deadlines, etc. If you need more assistance, speak up. Ask. Talk to somebody. Reach out to somebody. You have peers. You have leaders. You have so many other resources that the Army provides to you that you can actually utilize to be successful. Do not be afraid to speak up, because in times of evaluations and counselings that will occur, you want to be able to fully have exhausted your resources and presented the best package you can to show the type of person you are as a leader and as a soldier. In times of a negative counseling, perhaps, or perhaps a evaluation that just didn't go your way, you want to have things like a memorandum for record. Say you had to stay to work extra late and you've expressed to the boss that X, Y, and Z, you couldn't stay late, or you're not going to meet a deadline because of X, Y, and Z. Make sure you make a note of that. But it starts with you speaking up first and document those things. Make a memorandum for records. Like, I spoke with the boss about, blah, blah, blah. And he told me this. And so it resulted in this. So that when it comes time for those things like counseling and evaluation, you are squared away. Understand, those things will occur. So set yourself up in the best position to be successful. Tip number 6, you will be judged. It just comes with the job. It is. You will be judged by your appearance, because if I just met you, the only thing that I can judge you off of is your appearance, not your performance, not anything else. So how you look in your uniform matters. If you look like a fat body, and I call them fat bodies because I thought it was a pretty cool term that I heard in Bowling, and it was kind of funny. But if you look like a fat body in your uniform, where your uniform is really touching your skin, it's not loose fitting, you don't look like you've done physical fitness, and you need that, then you will be judged. If you arrive to work late, you're not there 10 minutes prior, or you're always walking in right on time, you will be judged. If you are giving a presentation and you don't have all the things that you need to look like you prepare for it, you're going to be judged. You're going to be judged, and I hate to say it, but if you're a woman of color, you're going to be judged harder. You're going to be judged harder than your peers, and that just comes with with what it is. You know, society is definitely working on diversification and biases, but stereotypes exist. As a woman of color, you have stereotypes, and I talk about this in a previous video as well. Stereotypes of, you know, black or women of color in the military. I speak about that in the video. You can check it out. I have it attached to this video as well. So just know that the things you do, people are looking at you. If you are a new leader, your soldiers are going to look at you, and they're going to judge how well you lead by what you do. So understand that as soon as you come in the Army day one, people are looking at you. So show them your best package. Show them that you're ready to rumble. Show them that you high speed, you you got this, and you're good to go. Tip number 7 is find a mentor. It's going to be so important that you have someone reliable where you can speak freely, get honest feedback about your performance, questions that you will run across in the future, and you're going to want to have somebody you can go to. Find a mentor, someone you can talk to. I established Leading Ladies Mentorship for Women of Color on Facebook. It's a Facebook group to assist with just that. If you want to have if you want to connect with like-minded individuals and have a safe place where you can just speak freely, join my group. Lots of nuggets being shared. There are lots of free resources, and you have me. I'm always available for you if you need it. You know, you have a question, you want a real answer. That's what I'm here for. But know that when you join the military, or if you decide to do so, you need to find a mentor. And you need to have mentors at different levels. The level that you would like to go to, the level that you're currently at, so you can know how to master that, and have mentors across the board. Different type of mentors are going to make you more well-rounded as a person. So you want people that's within your branch, you want people in the civilian world, you want people that's in another echelon, other units, just so you can get different perspective and be able to bring it together so that you have, you know, a well-rounded insight. I hope you took something away from this vlog. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you click the bell so that you're notified of the latest and greatest uploads to the channel. Until next time, guys, this has been Max Perspective, bringing you a fresh point of view.